Where does this ball go in my stance? One of the most popular questions that I get asked by my students. In today's video, we will cover stance and ball position. Make sure to watch the full video to understand from your driver to your pitching wedge where we place this little white ball. Welcome back. I'm Coach Shayain. If you've been watching my videos, I hope you've already subscribed to my channel. I know that golf can be very intimidating. It is a difficult sport with a lot that goes on into playing it. Don't get overwhelmed. Take a deep breath, one video at a time. And if you ever have any questions, concerns, you're confused, leave it in the comment section below. I check there all the time and I'm happy to help you with whatever questions that you have. I am here to help create a safe and welcoming space for all that want to learn the sport. So feel free to leave any questions that you have and I will be there to answer. Looking forward for you to watch the rest of this video. The last video in the 4-part Basic Golf Fundamentals series, your stance. Where are we placing the golf ball in your stance? We've done the grip, the aim, the alignment, and the posture. If you already haven't watched those videos, make sure after this one you go and watch those. All 4 of these steps are extremely important before you hit the golf ball. Like I've mentioned before, 80% of bad shots happen before you hit the ball. So if we knock these down, if we perfect them, if we practice them at home and then take it to the driving range, I can guarantee you, you'll be much happier on the golf course. Let's get started. One of the biggest mistakes I see my beginner students do is not know where to put the ball in their stance, as well as how narrow or wide their stance should be. So let's figure that out and help you with that. We have irons and I have my driver. I'll show you a quick, fast rule of thumb that you should always have in mind not to be completely confused. First, let's talk about how wide or narrow your stance should be. If you have your irons, close your feet, open your feet, shoulder width apart. What your shoulder width apart looks like. Technically, it should be from your shoulders all the way in to the inside of your feet. That is considered shoulder width apart. You want to be comfortable. In your stance, you need stability and you need comfort. That is what your stance provides for you. In the previous video, we already spoke about posture, so you will be quite stable already just from how we did that. So your iron, your pitching wedge, all the way to your 5-iron, you will close your feet, you'll open your feet, shoulder width apart. Nailed it. Now as the clubs get longer, if your irons are longer, if you're a beginner, you're not playing with a 3 or 4 iron as it is, don't worry, but if you are, your stance gets a little bit bigger. With your woods, your stance would get a little bit bigger than shoulder width apart. But let's talk about the driver, as I see a lot of mistakes with your driver. You do not stand narrow with your driver because you will not be able to generate power. So how wide do you go with your driver? Let me tell you. I have the ball in front of me with the driver in front. I move my left foot, my lead foot, since I'm a right-hand golfer, a little bit to the left. This ball needs to be in line with the back heel. Or some people do it with the instep of their foot, which is this part right here. Left heel, that is where the ball is lined up. I am now moving my right foot past my shoulder and quite wide. I am much shorter than most. I'm 5'3", so I like to have a much stronger, wider than most people, my width of my stance, just because I feel like I am a lot more stable that way and I can generate a lot more power coming through on my drives. So I have it a little bit wider than most people do. But whatever you do, do not have your feet shoulder width apart with your driver. It's a big no-no. Make your stance much wider, generate that power. Ball position, I already told you, for the driver, it needs to be by the back left heel, or your lead foot, which will be your right foot if you're a left-handed driver. The ball needs to be there. The ball does not move into the middle of your stance or the back of your stance ever when you're hitting a driver. It's forward in your stance and it's in line with your left heel. Now, ball position for 5-iron to pitching wedge. The rule of thumb for me in my head to keep it simple is pitching wedge to 5-iron. I have my ball right in the middle of my stance. I am never taking my ball in the back of my stance. It's in the middle, preferably a little bit forward of center. Just a tad bit there, okay? So if this is my center, you can have your iron shots play a little bit forward of center, but again, not all the way forward where the back of your heel is for your driver. And that should cover it. For your 3 woods, you would push it a little bit forward as well, but again, not where the driver goes. I will show you an image which will help you understand exactly what I mean and will explain to you in detail exactly the precision. Now, no one's gonna come out with a measuring tape to measure if you have it right behind your heel or right in the middle. This is something you will need to gauge over time, playing and hitting balls and getting consistent with what that looks like. Just note to self, it should never be in the back of your stance. Your ball position from pitching wedge to driver should not be in the back of your stance if you're hitting off the tee box. Now you know how wide or narrow your stance needs to be, along with where we're positioning our ball when we're hitting off of the tee, as well as on the fairway. And then we will also have more videos coming about chipping and pitching, which this setup will look very different for that. So don't get it confused for what I'm showing you right now. We're talking about drivers all the way to the pitching wedge, off the tee box, or in the fairway. I'm on a par 3. It's 136 yards. I have my 7-iron. We've gone through grip and alignment and your posture. Now it's your stance. So I showed you in my house what I would do, but let's show you on the golf course. So 7-iron. I have come in front of my ball. I am closing my feet. I'm going to open my feet shoulder width apart, and that is how wide my stance will be. And I will place the ball in the middle of my stance. I usually have it a tiny bit forward of middle. So if this was dead middle, I have it, as you can see, a little bit in front of middle for my irons. So take a look. If this is the middle, I have it placed a little bit in front of middle for my iron. So from my pitching wedge to my 5-iron, that is where it is. But just remember, put it right in the middle if you have your irons. That's where it goes. So with my driver, what does my stance look like? I'm closing my feet. First of all, my tee will be much higher. Have my grip, aim, alignment, posture, everything's perfect. Now we're in stance. I have my driver, my left foot moves a little bit, my right foot moves a lot more, and this ball should be in line with the back of my left heel. It's in line with my left heel. Like I mentioned before, no one's gonna come up with a measuring tape, but as close to your left heel as you can put it, that is where it needs to go. Then you're relaxed and you're swinging. What most of you are now going to ask me is, how far or close do I stand to the ball. That is something you have a lot of difficulty with. Let's start with the driver and I'll show you with my 7-iron as well. We'll move the view from the side angle really quick. Now from the side view, let's talk about how close or far you stand from the golf ball. I'll show you with my driver and then I'll show you with my 7-iron as well. So my driver is quite long, but I like to choke down on it. What do I look like from the side? How close should I be standing? Or how far should I be standing from my golf ball? So we've done our posture, you've pushed your hips back, you've bent your knees slightly, you're relaxed. And remember when I told you you're just gonna let your hands hang down and you have to clap? So I'm not clapping out here and I'm not clapping in here, just relax and let your hands hang. If they clap and they're comfortable, that's where your golf club goes. So let me show you. So close my feet, left foot a little bit, right foot a little bit more, and my hands are nice and relaxed right over here. So I'm not high up there and I'm not this close. My hands are nice and relaxed right here. And always closer to my left foot. Right-handed golfer, right in between your left thigh is where your hands need to go and your head goes back. Really quick, let's show you with my 7-iron. So my hands from here, you can see my shoulders are nice and straight. They haven't moved, they're square, and my hands are just relaxed, just falling right out of my shoulder sockets, just nice and down, and I'm just letting them hang, and that's where I want my club to be. Again, not out here and not down in here. So what does that look like? I have my grip, I'm breathing, always breathing. I've closed my feet, I have it shoulder width apart. My ball is pretty much in the center, a little bit forward. My hands are a little bit ahead, closer to my left leg, and my head is behind the ball. And my hands are relaxed. And this is where my relaxed hands are. No and no. They are just hanging. And that's your stance. What I will do is do a full recap. Grip, alignment and aim, posture and stance. Let's do your full gaps. Then you can get a full picture of what all the 4 videos we've just gone through, what it all looks like on the tee box before you hit the ball. Let's do that. For demonstration purposes, I will show you gaps all the way through. So I have my grip, my V to my right shoulder, my overlap grip, my right hand V towards my chin. I'm going to make a straight line on where I want to go. I will be aiming at the discolored piece of grass right here, this patch that you can see is a little bit different color. That will be where I will be aiming. So let me draw my straight line from there. Perfect. I come and stand in front of my ball. I have my club down, facing that piece of grass. Close my feet, open my feet. Since I'm using a 7-iron, it'll be in the middle of my stance, a little bit forward. I'm relaxed, my hips are back, my knees are bent. So my gaps is ready to go. I'm gonna take a deep breath. And my grip is at a 5, not a 10. I'm gonna go for it. Right in the middle of the fairway, where you want to be. That's it, you guys, you made it. Now you are going to make sure that you do not hit those bad shots off the tee box because you know exactly what your setup is supposed to look like. Looking forward to hearing from you in the comments and let me know how you're doing out on the golf course. See you next Thursday for a brand new video. In the description below, you will find a link each week. That link will take you to a free download of gaps, grip, alignment, posture, and stance. Make sure you print it out, fold it up, put it in your golf bag. So when you are at the driving range and you forget or you can't remember what I had said, pull it out as your reference tool. If this video was helpful, make sure to click the like button And I know by now you're already subscribed to my YouTube channel, but if you're not, make sure to click the subscribe button. And always feel free to leave a comment below if you're confused about anything that I'm talking about. I am here to help you. See you next Thursday. Thanks for watching.